And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner,
All right, guys, remember this. Obey my commands at all times. Now let's have a good, clean fight. Touch him up.
When you get a fight like this that everybody's been talking about, it's always so interesting to see these opening moments here in round number 1.
What's the best way to neutralize good hand speed?
Timing. Guys throwing real quick punches, maybe a quick jab. You time it right hand, right over.
Perez's defense did a good job there, able to avoid that punch. Able to get rid of that one. He gets hit, but he gives it right back. Montgomery's showing you a little defensive skill there, able to move away from that punch. Perez is only able to get a piece of him that time. And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own. 90 seconds to go here in this round. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Ten seconds remaining in this round. Good defensive skill. Montgomery's back in his corner now, probably reflecting on what was a very solid round. Now, he didn't overwhelm his guy with a quantity of punches, but he was so effective with what he did put forth.
Yeah, you're right. You know, a lot of times people think that the muscles that count the most in any sport, and especially in this sport, such a difficult sport, is, you know, the biceps, the physical things that you see, you know, the chest, the back. You know, this guy's got the strong muscle up top, you know, over his shoulders, in between his shoulders, his brain. And that's why he's picking the spot so well. That muscle is serving him to win this fight right now.
Devastating blow by Montgomery. Montgomery's the kind of guy who is going to exude confidence. That comes from being unbeaten. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. Good job protecting himself. Halfway through round number 2. Montgomery's making for a tough target there. He gets away from that punch. Not precise at all by Montgomery. Oh, very nice. Smart counterpunch there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You make the guy miss, you make him pay.
Just 10 seconds to go here in the second round. Montgomery's commitment to being judicious and effective really worked out well there. The punch stats prove it.
Keep the pressure on him. Keep it on him. No need to get excited. We're doing fine.
And round number 3 is underway. Targeted counterpunch by Montgomery.
Keep your hands up.
Here's one for you now, he says, right back with the left hand. Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. Able to dismiss it. Perez is proving to be elusive. Digs into the body, but just off the mark. Every time we call a fight, Teddy, we see guys with different physical makeups. If you had to build the perfect fighter, what would he look like?
Well, you know, all different kinds of dimensions to it. First of all, I think that he would be the kind of finisher that Joe Louis was. He would have power in either hand the way that a Mike Tyson did. And he would have the speed to put those punches together the way Sugar Ray Robinson did. He would also have a chin of Jake LaMotta. And he would probably have the calmness, and that's the key. You know, that's the little spicing in the cake. It's not the eggs, it's not the flour, but it's that little extra ingredient. He'd have the ability to stay calm like Salvador Sanchez, where he could see the whole picture at all times.
Montgomery's putting on a display of accuracy, and the punch numbers tell that story.
Keep it up.
The action starts up again, but it's only favored one man. Hard to see this fight going the distance based on what we've witnessed so far. I would assume there has to come a point in this fight where he has to make the commitment to throw the power punches. It's hard to envision a way he's going to win this fight without going down that road.
He doesn't have the confidence to do it. I don't know if he's mentally strong enough to do it. I think he's worried about throwing hard at the guy because maybe in his mind that means the guy will throw hard back at him.
Montgomery's doing well sticking to a game plan on the outside. He has taken a lot of punishment here.
Well, the special fighters find a way, even when it's desperate like this, to survive. He's got to find that way right now.
90 seconds to go in round number 4. Here's one for you now, he says, right back with the left hand. Return to sender. He gives him back one of his own. Fourth round now with its last 10 seconds.
In and out, in and out.
Well, as that round comes to an end, it gives us a moment to kind of reflect on this overall fight. Teddy, my thoughts are pretty clear-cut. This is the kind of fight that just takes on a personality of its own. This is an all-out war.
Yeah, this is kind of like watching a guy who's not on a budget. You know, he's spending with both hands. You know, when he goes home, he's going to have no money in his pockets. And when this fight is over, these guys are going to have nothing left in the gas tank, and it's probably not going to a decision.
gives as well as he takes. You saw it on that exchange. Great pace to this fight, Teddy. These guys are not coming out of fifth gear. Nobody's slowing down.
No, they're fighting a 6th, 7th, and 8th gear.
Halfway through this round. Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. Perez is getting caught with headshots. But Teddy, to me this is pretty simple. Move your head.
Otherwise, the other guy will. And he's been moving his head for him all night.
Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Able to counter that attack. Coming to the end of round number 5, last 10 seconds. Montgomery's doing an extraordinary job of never giving his opponent the chance to get back in this fight. Just like we saw in that last round there, he's way up on your scorecard.
Yeah, I have way up, and more importantly, you touched on it. It's the kind of fight he wants. You know, it's in his element. It's sort of in his pool, so to speak, his waters. You know, it's an outside fight. It's a jabbing fight, everything he likes.
Montgomery's doing really well on the outside, utilizing his jab. Montgomery's opponent is saying to himself, I can't believe this. Every time this guy throws, it seems like he lands. He's very judicious with his work.
Yeah, and that's not by accident. You know, that's his temperament. He has that kind of temperament. If you went out with the guy, you talk to the guy, you know, he thinks before he says things. He doesn't just, you know, let his mouth go. He doesn't just let his hands go. He lets them go when he thinks he should.
Been stunned. Perez is showing some real guts here. Hey, this fight was not going his way. There it is! Montgomery's on the floor and in a bad spot.
1, 2.
So he goes down, but able to get up to his feet. Teddy, what should he be thinking about now?
Well, right now, just surviving, but if he survives, then he better figure out why he was put on the floor.
Able to dismiss it. Montgomery's able to avoid that punch. Perez is a pro, but he's not a well-rounded pro because a better level of fighter would be committing to the body more here, wouldn't he, Teddy?
Yeah, well, first of all, he would recognize that that's where he's supposed to be going now that his opponent, you know, is taking off a little bit with those fast shoes. No better way to take those shoes off his feet than to go downstairs.
Montgomery's coasting his way towards a victory here. That round comes to an end, and yet another round that you got to mark down on your scorecard for him.
Yeah, the only way he loses now is if he's a glutton. You know those guys, you've seen them, Joe, they're on our crew. They stay at the table too long. They don't know when to push away from the table, you know? Well, he's got to push away from the table right now. If he does that, hey, this is in the bank.
Great movement to get away from those punches. after being hit himself.
Keep the head moving.
At the halfway point of round 7. Nice block. Teddy, this is one of those moments where you just wish you could pick up the phone and call up the world and say, tune in. Everybody should be watching this, right?
I have a cell phone. I might do that right now.
Start dialing. Oh, and there you go. That uppercut absolutely rocked him. Boy, I don't like the way his legs look at all right now. Able to show you his blocking ability. Montgomery's doing it just the way he wants to do it, and that last round kind of sums up the whole fight. In complete control. He's up on the scorecards, heading towards another victory.
And he's up on my scorecard. Now he just has to be careful that he doesn't get careless, he doesn't get reckless.
Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Accurate counter punch by Montgomery. How is he able to do this? How is he able to take these shots?
You know, one time Muhammad Ali talked about taking a chin. He had one of the great chins of all time. And what he basically talked about was that when you start to get hit those shots, you start to go down a hallway. And then you go into a gray room. You go from a light room to a gray room. And at the end of the hallway, you see a dark room. You don't want to go to that dark room. And you have a choice. You put your feet down and you start backing up. I'm not going to that dark room. This guy is not being taken to that dark room.
Perez is thinking right now that he's doing a good job defensively, but it's really not the case, Eddie. Every so often, you will see a punch split that guard.
Yeah, he's just standing there. First of all, the gloves, he needs to extend them just a little bit away. So, as you said, those punches, you know, aren't going to force their way through to the target, which they're doing right now. They're getting down to him. They're getting through to him.
Another round, will it go in another one-way direction? It's been a one-sided fight so far tonight. Accurate uppercut after taking a shot of his own. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect. Montgomery's in position right now to really bring home a good victory. He's up on the punch stats. He's up on your scorecard. This is his fight.
Yeah, we just hope that the judges, and you never know that. That's one thing that sometimes can really disappoint you in this business. You hope the judges see it that way, because I can't see it any other way.
He gets hit, but he gives it right back. Frustrating his opponent with great defense. Parries that punch intended for the head. What a fight. What a great non-stop action fight this has been. It's been 2 minutes of non-stop. Oh, and there you go. Montgomery's in a bad spot right now. He's been stunned. Good block. Montgomery's in complete control. Teddy, way ahead on the scorecards every which way, isn't he?
Yeah, every which way, and especially the most important way, I think, is that the fight is in his kind of pace. It's a fast-paced fight. It's an outside fight. It's exactly what he wants, not only to be ahead, which we think he is, but to stay ahead.
Good block by Bad Intentions. Oh, and he comes back with an uppercut there after getting hit. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Blocks the headshot. Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. Good block by Montgomery. 1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. Pulls the trigger. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Perez is stunned and he is
come on,
hurt.
guys. Work it out, no holding.
Good block by Bad Intentions. He's in bad shape. He's on wobbly legs. Teddy, he's got to tie up.
If he can. See, that's up to his opponent.
Late goings here of this round, and he goes down. Can he survive it? From a big shot, now he's got to have some big guts to move along.
You're going to find out exactly what he's made of.
And we send it up to the ring at the end of this fight to hear what the judges had to say. Montgomery's your winner by a unanimous decision.
And that was a surprise right there. Coming into this fight, we thought we'd see maybe a knockout. But no, we wound up getting a strategic fight.
everybody. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you on Wednesday Night Fights, and we welcome you to the Mexico City Plaza here in Mexico City for a much-anticipated main event. 10 rounds in the bantamweight division between these two great warriors.
Fighting out of the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Montgomery. His adversary fighting out of the red corner, Showdown.
All right, gentlemen, protect yourself at all times. Let's touch him up.
When you get a fight like this that everybody's been talking about, it's always so interesting to see these opening moments here in round number 1.
Throughout your training career, what did you consistently feel more comfortable with? Training the shorter guy against the taller guy, or the taller guy against the shorter guy?
Well, you can't teach tall. You know what? That's there or not. I love to have those kind of advantages physically. You just have to make sure that you teach them to fight tall.
Comes right back with a shot of his own. Great movement to get away from those punches. Nice block by Soto. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Halfway through round number 1. Showing you some defense there with the block. Able to block that away. It was targeted for his head. You can see he's trying to score up top, but off the mark there. He scored well after being hit himself. Digs in with a good solid uppercut after taking a shot.
Teddy, what do you think is the most misunderstood about the lower weight classes?
Well, I think people don't realize how big those people have to be. I know that sounds crazy because they're smaller guys, but they have to be big in all the other dimensions, with discipline, with confidence, and with their technical approach, their technical development. They have to deal with guys that are really fast. The bigger guys don't have to deal with all those elements.
Oh, he just misses with that headshot. Parries that punch intended for the head. Comes right back with some offense of his own. Give and take, and here comes the left hand. See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect. Couldn't hit the elusive target with that straight right. 10 clicks of the talk. able to block that away. It was targeted for his head.
Don't lose the chance to set his feet and get any punches off.
And round number 3 is underway. Montgomery's an undefeated fighter coming into this fight. Good job staying away from the danger there. They trade shots. He comes back with a right hand. Coming to the halfway point of this 3rd round. Keeping his hands up, getting rid of his opponent's offense. Now that's some fine work right there by Montgomery. Teddy, is it possible that he didn't respect this fighter coming into the fight? Now, I know a lot of people would say, yeah, he's ahead on the scorecards, but you can just see the style of fight that this is, that he's being tested.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of 2 things. This guy being better than his record would indicate, and what you touched on, that he's a human being like anybody else. We look at the guy's record, we think of what kind of fight it's going to be. He looked at it, he thought it was going to be a little easier than it's turning out.
Okay, you're doing good. Keep it up, all right? Very good, very good.
As another round gets underway, it gets us thinking, how much more of this will we see? Hard to envision this fight going the distance with how lopsided it's been. Montgomery's doing a good job tonight on the outside. He's able to score from the outside, keeping a safe distance away from his opponent. Well, we told you it could be this kind of fight, and as advertised thus far. Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head. He got hit, but he sends it right back. Soto's showing that he's got some defense of his own. He got away from that punch. Soto's doing half of his opponent's job for him. He's a sitting target. This is like being in the gym for his opponent right now.
Yeah, he's just standing straight up, making himself much, much too available.
Seconds to go here in this round. Well, his opponent is opening up and coming forward, so I would think there are some opportunities that exist.
Yeah, I think some counterpunching opportunities. Opportunities not on the front end, but on the back end.
Good exchange. He fires back. Gets rid of that effort. Not able to land the headshot. It is unbelievable to sit back and just watch what these guys are willing to give and to take. Wow, what a fight so far.
Well, give and take, that's the key word. Sometimes you're forced to become great. And right now, each one of them are forcing the other to go to great places.
All right, got that?
They are back to action here, but that action has only favored one man, completely one-sided. Hard to see the scorecards coming into play here with how dominating he's been. Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head. right back with some offense of his own. Comes right back at him with a left hand. This is one of those moments where you just wish you could pick up the phone and call up the world and say, tune in. Everybody should be watching this, right?
I have a cell phone. I might do that right now.
Start dialing. Oh! Montgomery's been hurt by that shot. Protecting his head well with his guard. 10 seconds to go in this round. Montgomery's doing an extraordinary job of never giving his opponent the chance to get back in this fight. Just like we saw in that last round there, he's way up on your scorecard.
Yeah, I have way up, and more importantly, you touched on it. It's the kind of fight he wants. You know, it's in his element. It's sort of in his pool, so to speak, his waters. You know, it's an outside fight. It's a jabbing fight, everything he likes.
Fires right back at him. Montgomery's doing really well on the outside. Montgomery's dealing with the aftermath of being rocked, but yet he hasn't changed anything. He's still sticking with that style.
Well, that means panic has not set in. That's a good thing, Joe. He still believes he can get this thing done the way he came here to get it done.
Does it surprise you that he's not going to the body as much as he could be?
Well, what surprises me is that he doesn't have the intuitiveness, you know, just the instinct to understand, to recognize the situation. That's part of the ability of a good fighter, to recognize what he should be doing in a certain situation. He's not seeing that. He should be going downstairs.
Well-targeted counterpunch by Montgomery. Montgomery's got a real acquired skill here, and that is the ability to pick your shots and land them.
Joe, you hear the saying when people say, do you know what time it is? You have to know what time it is. He knows what time it is. He knows when to throw a certain punch.
Montgomery's in control here. You can just look at this fight for 10 seconds and you've seen everything you need to see, because there hasn't been a moment where it hasn't been his fight.
Yeah, you know, you talk about those sins. A lot of times people say there's 7 virtues, there's 7 sins out there. One of the sins that you hear about is greed. That's the only thing that can beat him right now, is if he gets greedy.
Nice block by Soto. And he returns on that exchange. Able to block that away. It was targeted for his head. How about a return to sender with the left hand? Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. He gets hit, but he gives it right back. Halfway through what is one of the best rounds you'll ever see. Just great action.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you love roller coasters, you go to an amusement park. If you want to see left hooks, right hands, every direction, great chins, great endurance, great heart, you come to this fight. You stay right here.
The twists and turns and the non-stop battle, it continues on as we've reached the 1 minute mark to go. Good block there by Soto. Blocks that punch.
Keep working the jab.
Oh, he got hit, but so did his opponent. Fires right back. Teddy, making predictions in boxing is often a dangerous task, but I'll make one right here that seems pretty obvious to me as we come to the end of that round here. This fight is going to be a brutal display as long as it lasts.
It's kind of like going and watching that home run contest. Nobody's trying to hit singles or doubles. You know they're all going for the fences.
He gives as well as he takes. You saw it on that exchange. Good block there by Soto. Teddy, he's just covering up. That's all he's doing, but it gives his opponent so much time to pick where he isn't.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. I mean, first of all, some of them are going to get through and some of them are watching them. They're getting through, and you just touched on it. I mean, you cover up, you tell your opponent, hey, I'm camping out, I'm not throwing back. So instead of throwing 1 or 2 at you, he's throwing combinations of 3, 4, 5. You got a problem.
On the mark, the counter punch by Montgomery. How is he able to do this? How is he able to take these shots?
You know, one time Muhammad Ali talked about taking a chin. He had one of the great chins of all time. And what he basically talked about was that when you start to get hit those shots, you start to go down a hallway. And then you go into a gray room. You go from a light room to a gray room. And at the end of the hallway, you see a dark room. You don't want to go to that dark room. And you have a choice. You put your feet down, you start backing up. I'm not going to that dark room. This guy is not being taken to that dark room.
Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. Montgomery's doing it just the way he wants to do it, and that last round kind of sums up the whole fight. In complete control, he's up on the scorecards, heading towards another victory.
And he's up on my scorecard. Now he just has to be careful that he doesn't get careless, he doesn't get reckless.
Way to block there. Nice block by Soto. Well-placed counter punch by Soto. Listen, he's still being highly competitive, even though you would have to think, if you're judging this fight at all, that he's way behind. Does that give him hope that still there's a chance that he can score the knockout and get this win?
Yeah, because his attitude is still there. He hasn't given up on himself. And as long as you haven't given up on yourself, you always have a chance where one punch can separate that guy from his consciousness.
What a fight. What a great, great, non-stop action fight this has been. 1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. Good return fire that time. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Solid counter punch by Soto. He just missed that shot up top. That was not well targeted by Montgomery. Montgomery's coasting his way towards a victory here. That round comes to an end, and yet another round that you got to mark down on your scorecard for him.
Yeah, the only way he loses now is if he's a glutton. You know those guys, you've seen them, Joe, they're on our crew. They stay at the table too long. They don't know when to push away from the table, you know? Well, he's got to push away from the table right now. If he does that, hey, this is in the bank.
Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. He scored well after being hit himself. Good block there by Soto. What a great round. 2 minutes in, 60 seconds to go. A little something for his opponent after getting tagged. A headshot blocked. Right back with some offense of his own. And for the official judges' scores, let's send it up to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards. All three judges scored the fight. A unanimous decision. Your winner, banding digits, Montgomery.
Montgomery's your winner by unanimous decision. All three judges giving it to him.
I didn't agree with the judge.
welcome to our pay-per-view special. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the MGM Grand here on the Vegas Strip in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, for a much-anticipated main event. 10 rounds in the bantamweight division between these two great warriors. Montgomery's focus is front and center as he makes his way to them. When you get a fight like this,
Move your head! You need to block more. Uppercut! Uppercut! Move those feet! Got up! Got up! Make your presence known. Assert yourself. Assert your presence.
here we go. Round 2 is underway. There it is. Montgomery's stunned and he is hurt. He lands the hook, and now he lands on the ground.
1, 2.
He gets up after that punch put him down on the canvas.
Now he needs to get on that bicycle and stay away from this guy.
Nothing there on the punch by Montgomery. On the mark, the counter punch by Young.
Keep your head moving.
Through the years with all your training and leading guys to world championships, what was your basic approach? What was the one thing that you did time and time again and it paid off?
Well, Joe, it depends on what point you're at with a fighter. If you're at an early point, you don't know who you're fighting. You just want to make sure that everything is technically solid and you're approaching it from that end. But once you know in a training camp you're going into a big fight, who you're fighting, well, I took it into 2 pieces. First, I took care of my fighter that everything is right on his end. You know, I do a checklist that the defense, the offense, everything's working. Then we start looking at tape and we come up with a very specific fight plan for that opponent.
Tried to land that upstairs and was off the mark. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Now that's some fine work right there by Montgomery. Just 10 seconds to go here in the second round. That was not well targeted by Montgomery. Round comes to an end. Knockdown was scored in that round. So, Teddy, you're working the corner of the guy who was just on the floor. What are you telling him?
You're telling him that if he's been down before, you want to actually use that for a positive. I know that sounds crazy, but you say, hey, you've been here before, you've overcome it. You want to remind him that he can get back. And then the most important thing, Joe, is you tell him why he got dropped. So when he goes out there, he's not just scared going into a dark place saying, gee, it's going to happen again. He knows he has control.
And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own. Nice block by Young. Montgomery's a pro, but he's not a well-rounded pro because a better level of fighter would be committing to the body more here, wouldn't he, Teddy?
Yeah, well, first of all, he would recognize that that's where he's supposed to be going now that his opponent, you know, is taking off a little bit with those fast shoes. No better way to take those shoes off his feet than to go downstairs.
Targeting the hooks on each man. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. 1 minute to go in this round. Neither man has decided to slow down at all. Oh, boy, what a round. Needs to improve that accuracy. Missed with the headshot. Montgomery's just not able to land many punches to the body here, and he's fighting a faster fighter. You would think he would make that commitment.
Yeah, you know, he should have talked to a plumber, because a plumber would have told him, you know, you wanna put a leak in somebody's basement. Well, you know what you do? You go and you open up some pipes downstairs, and then all of a sudden there's gonna be a lot of flooding. Then the upstairs ain't too good anymore. Well, the upstairs won't be too good for this fast guy if there's some leaking in the basement, but you got to break those pipes. You got to do some punching downstairs.
Montgomery's able to land at a good connect percentage. Look at the punch stats. Good action here tonight. Both guys bringing their best, and both guys meeting each other stride for stride, punch for punch. Tough fight to score here as we're back underway. Teddy, what would you recommend based on what we're seeing here tonight?
Well, 2 aspirin and then go, oh no, actually I would say a little counter punching would be just what the doctor ordered.
That's a better prescription for him. Well off the mark by Montgomery. He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect. Keeping his hands up, getting rid of his opponent's offense. Oh, he just misses with that headshot. It is unbelievable to sit back and just watch what these guys are willing to give and to take. Wow, what a fight so far.
Well, give and take, that's the key word. Sometimes you're forced to become great. And right now, each one of them are forcing the other to go to great places.
Neither man slowing down as we have 60 seconds to go in this round.
Up and down, side to side.
Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Nothing there on the punch by Montgomery. What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been. The kind of fight that tells me somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision, where if they didn't win by knockout, it doesn't count.
Teddy, so much work in the gym goes into head movement and how to hit a moving target. Doesn't matter in this fight tonight.
No, this guy doesn't move his head. The old timers would say he gets insulted if you miss him.
He just missed that shot up top.
Keep working the body.
Parries that punch intended for the head. Young's thinking right now that he's doing a good job defensively, but it's really not the case, Teddy. Every so often, you will see a punch split that guard.
Yeah, he's just standing there. First of all, the gloves, he needs to extend them just a little bit away. So, as you said, those punches, you know, aren't going to force their way through to the target, which they're doing right now. They're getting down to him. They're getting through to him.
Not able to land the headshot. Good block. And now they're opening up. Both right hands land. Montgomery's doing a really nice job here. I mean, putting his punches together. This is what you're supposed to look like as an offensive fighter.
Yes, it is, especially when you have a guy in front of you putting the earmuffs on. You know, you cover up the way that his opponent is. You're supposed to put them together. One or two are going to be blocked. But when you put them together like that, they're going to get through.
Montgomery's ability to just go out there and have it his way has paid off. We're halfway through this fight. He's in complete control, and he may be touching upon a knockout win here in the coming round.
Yes, I can see the corner of the opponent even thrown in the towel. And the referee, I've noticed the last couple rounds, he's keeping a real close eye.
Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head.
Keep moving around the ring.
That was not well targeted by Montgomery. A nice block by Young. Good block by Bad Intentions.
Hit the body.
Good job staying away from the danger there. Blocks it away. 60 seconds to go in what has been a toe-to-toe war. Oh, what a... There it is! Holy cow! Young's down. So he is able to get up to his feet.
Yeah, we're getting a peek right now into his heart, into his...
Once again, he goes down. Can he survive this? That is it. This fight is over. Montgomery's gonna have his hand raised by way of KO. The 10 count reached, his opponent out. He's the victor. Montgomery's your winner by knockout.
Everybody but his opponent is happy now. That was an entertaining fight.
It was a good one indeed. And for Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us. welcome you to our World Championship. Round number 1 is now underway. All the talk is done. It is simply time to fight.
If you made a checklist of advantages and disadvantage, obviously you'd want the advantage of hand speed. But you've trained many a guy who's been on the other side where his opponents had the better hand speed. What have you told him?
Well, I tell him make it a muddy track. You know, Secretariat must be the fastest horse in the world, but on a muddy track, things change a little bit. Step out of range. Don't allow the kind of landscape, the kind of track that will suit speed.
Parries that punch intended for the head. Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. He returns the favor with a right hand of his own. Blocks that punch. Halfway through this round here. And now they're opening up. Both right hands land. Able to show you his blocking ability. Blocks that punch. Able to dismiss his opponent's shot and then comes back with an uppercut. Blocks away that headshot. 10 seconds to go in this round. Montgomery's corner's got to be happy about that last round.
All right, keep your hands up, all right? All right?
Here we go. Round 2 is underway. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. Keeping his hands up, getting way of his opponent's effort. He got hit, but he sends it right back. Showing you some defense there with the block.
Broadcasting by your side for all these years, I always hear you call the ring the Chamber of Truth. Explain to the viewers out there the Chamber of Truth.
But what I mean by that, Joe, is, you know, in outside life, there's a lot of places you can lie, and to a certain extent, you can get away with it. But when you lie in that squared circle, that Chamber of Truth, you get caught on those lies sometimes. Not always, but on any given night, you might get caught on it. And they're going to be exposed very quickly.
Good stuff in the opening 2 minutes. A minute to go in this round. One hook deserves another. Wow. Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. Blocks that punch. Good-looking counter punch. Montgomery's efforts of being busy in that last round were really good for him. And round number 3 is underway. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. And now he's acting like a fighter, coming back with the right hand after getting scored upon. Able to dismiss it. A little give and take, and here comes the left hand. Montgomery's got that momentum of an unbeaten fighter. He takes a shot and then commits to giving one right back. Good defensive skills. 90 seconds to go here in this round. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Wow! That uppercut absolutely rocked him. Boy, I don't like the way his legs look at all right now. Nice block by Bad Intentions. A headshot blocked. Ten seconds to go in this third round. So we come to the end of the round. And clearly a confidence booster for this man. He got to his opponent. He was able to stun him. Teddy, when a fighter comes back after doing what he just did, do you see them almost light up, like get a little boost of energy because of that?
Yeah, it does build your confidence a little bit. You know, it makes you feel more secure. I can control this man. I had my way.
Montgomery's is doing very nicely on the outside here in this fight. Montgomery's doing exactly what he told us he would do. Now, he was stunned earlier in this fight, but he's sticking to that game plan.
You know, I like that. You know, I want to see how a guy behaves under pressure. He hasn't panicked, you know. He still believes in his identity, believes in his talents, his abilities, and he's going to stay that way unless the guy convinces him later on.
Fires right back at him. A little something for his opponent after getting tagged. 90 seconds to go in round number 4. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Some fine fundamentals. Good counterpunch.
Nice mousetrap there. He let him in beautifully. He didn't use cheese. He used distance.
Oh, and they decide to trade there. How about a return to sender with the left hand? See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. Kim's just making some room for himself here.
You're making it hard for them to hit you.
They are back to action here, but that action has only favored one man. Completely one-sided. Hard to see the scorecards coming into play here with how dominating he's been. Good return fire that time. Good block there by Bad Intentions. Do you see any way in which he can take his opponent's aggression and turn it against him?
Yeah, the perfect way. I mean, boxing 101, counterpunching. You got a guy coming at you, no better way than to change his mind. Make him miss, make him pay.
Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. Kim him showing a little bit of a defensive shell. But, Teddy, I'm seeing punches still getting through and splitting that guard.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, Joe, when you put those earmuffs on, but you don't move your head. Some of them are going to get through, and just as importantly, you handcuff yourself, so your opponent is going to stay in there a little bit longer, knowing that nothing's coming back right away.
Not what he was looking for. That's a miss right there by Montgomery. It is unbelievable to sit back and just watch what these guys are willing to give and to take. Wow, what a fight so far.
Well, give and take, that's the key word. Sometimes you're forced to become great. And right now, each one of them are forcing the other to go to great places.
The end to another very entertaining round in what has been a very entertaining fight. A fight where there's just bad intentions. The fight that just doesn't have the feel of a fight that's going to be a decision win for somebody. Looks like somebody's going to get stopped.
Right from the beginning, they've been fighting with desperation. Like going the decision, as you just touched on, has not been in their minds at all.
Montgomery's doing really well on the outside. What a chin. And can you believe the shots this guy's absorbing? Oh, Montgomery's in bad shape. Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. Halfway through this round. See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head.
Move your head.
Blocks that punch.
Use your feet. Guard your head. Keep moving. Keep moving.
This is why we love the sport, Teddy. I mean, this is just back and forth action nonstop.
Well, Joe, with special offensive happening in history, you remember where you are. Right now, I'm going to remember where I was during this fight. I'm watching a special epic right in front of me.
Glad to be here doing it, too. What a war this is. As another round gets underway, it gets us thinking, how much more of this will we see? Hard to envision this fight going the distance with how lopsided it's been. He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. Able to show you his blocking ability. Keeping his hands up, getting rid of his opponent's offense.
Jab, jab, use the jab.
Blocks it away.
Side to side.
Blocks that punch. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. Oh, and he returns fire with a left hand. A good block. Good job protecting himself. Comes right back at him with a left hand.
In and out, in and out.
Way to block there. Comes right back with some offense of his own.
Let's see some more headshots. Let's see some more headshots. Get out of the way.
Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. Montgomery's doing it just the way he wants to do it, and that last round kind of sums up the whole fight. In complete control. He's up on the scorecards, heading towards another victory.
And he's up on my scorecard. Now he just has to be careful that he doesn't get careless, he doesn't get reckless.
Kim showing that he's got some defense of his own. He got away from that punch. Montgomery's got to be really careful there, Teddy. I mean, he's leaving himself wide open.
And what's going to happen next? See, you know, he's leaving himself open. He hasn't paid for anything yet, but that will be coming before you know it.
Kim's coming up with the answers, avoiding that punch. Not hitting his mark there, going upstairs. Comes right back at him with a left hand. Showing you some defense there with the block. Halfway through this round here.
Cover your head.
Good exchange. He fires back. Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. Oh, Montgomery's in back.